Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Lieberman, and I'd like to welcome you to class. Here's my information. You can reach me at glieberman@caldwell.edu. You could leave a message for me at the message center that I have. You dial that number, you'll hear a recording, you leave the message. The recording gets transcribed into words, it gets emailed to me, and I'll get back to you generally within an hour or two. Best way to contact me, first try email. You can try Blackboard messages, although not very many people use it here at Caldwell. And then lastly, you can leave a voice message for me. So we have a lot to cover in this course. There's 14 weeks and there's a lot of ground to cover. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read the announcements. There's a lot of good stuff in the announcements, and it'll give you an idea of what you have to do during each week. Plus, I'll put announcements up for any pertinent information that you need to know during the course. Uh, Review all the course units. Look at the reading material. Make sure you have your textbook aligned. Any other additional readings that I put in there. Just review all the reading material. In each unit, you'll find some videos. Mostly they're lecture videos where I've taken the prepared slides that the textbook that come with the textbook, and I've added dialogue to it. And I've actually used an avatar to present it because my voice gets kind of raspy after a few minutes. It's a quick way of reviewing everything that's in the textbook chapters. Then familiarize yourself with the discussion questions. Look at all the assignments. Make sure that you understand the assignments. And then there's two major exams, and there's a bunch of quizzes throughout the year. So if you're unsure about something, it's really important that you ask. Again, you could email me, Blackboard message me, leave me a voice message, but ask the questions. I want to make sure that you are 100% sure of what you need to do and what the deliverables for your assignment are. Remember, the only dumb question is the one that didn't get asked. So keep asking questions. I love it when you ask questions, right? Again, if you take a quiz and you don't understand one of the questions, ask me about it and I'll explain it to you. If you're not sure what you need to do, ask me about it and I'll explain it. Questions are good. So there's learning activity. There's assignments and there's assessments. All right. Assignments are made up of discussion forums, current events assignment, narrated video, PowerPoint video presentations. There's individual presentations, and then there's at least one group presentation. And then there's MindTap labs and exercises. There's also 12 MindTap quizzes in the course, one each week. They're only 20 questions, and they're worth about 10 points roughly. And then there's, like I said, there's two major exams. There's a midterm and a final, and the both exams require the Respondus Lockdown browser, which you will be able to download right from the exam, and then you fire it up, and then you take the exam. What this does is it prevents any other windows from being opened when you take the exam. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't look at your textbook. It's an open book exam, but you can't be searching AI for the answers. So discussion forums. I have a prompt that you'll need to reply to. And once you reply to the prompt, then the rest of the discussion will be opened up for you to see everybody else's posts. So by Wednesday, you need to post a reply to the discussion prompt. Your reply must be 100 words or more, and it must have at least one scholarly resource. Now, what I mean by a scholarly resource, I don't mean blog posts. I don't mean corporate websites that are selling a product, right? I don't mean research papers from students that are put up on ResearchGate, right? I want scholarly resources. news articles, attorney papers, published journal papers, and above all, make sure that you've read the paper and that the reference is real and exists. And then you must format it in proper APA 7th edition format and style. And there is a video available in the course information that, or student resources rather, that will allow you to, that walks you through what the proper APA citation forms are. Now, you're also required to do at least one cohort reply. So you're reading and replying to one of your associates, one of your classmates. So your reply must be at least 50 words or more. It has to expand the body of knowledge. Avoid summarizing, critiquing. I don't want you to say, gee, George, that was a really good post, and this is what you said. You said this and you said that. That's not that's not expanding the body of knowledge. Keep it in conversational in tone, right? Think as if I've called upon you in a class, in a standard class. I've asked you to stand up and I've asked you to reply to one of your classmates. Keep it conversational, right? Expand the conversation, add to it, and again, avoid summarizing and critiquing. Now, here I have an example of what a really good conversational cohort reply is. You mentioned that the incident response planning often gets overlooked in smaller organizations. I've seen this too, especially in the resources are tight. In my last job, we addressed it by combining incident response with disaster recovery planning into a single training program. Have you seen any creative ways organizations handle this challenge with limited staff? Now, what's nice about this is this response laid the groundwork for the question, exhibited some personal experience, and then asked the question. That is a good, solid cohort reply. Then there's the current events assignments. Now, each week you're going to have one for each unit. You have to find a newspaper article, not newspaper, I should say, a credible news article. It can be an online news source. It can be a print news like the New York Times, which is also online, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post. Um, Avoid blogs. Watch out for press releases. Don't use press releases. And avoid corporate websites. You want a news source. Then simply summarize the article. Summarize it in your own words. Ensure that the summary reflects what the article says. I don't want you to editorialize. Don't build upon it. Don't research additional resources and write a whole paper on that subject. I just want you to summarize what that article said. Then create an APA formatted citation at the end of your summarization. It should include the author, the date, the article title, the news source, and a hyperlink to that article. And then what I want you to do is submit two files, right? The first file is a Word document that ends with .docx, Microsoft Word, that contains your summary and your citation. The second one is I want a PDF printout of the article itself, right? So submit both of those. You won't get any credit if you don't submit the two files, a Word document and a PDF file, all right? Not two PDF files, not two Word documents. One Word document with your summary, one PDF file with your article. In the class, you're required to do narrated PowerPoint video presentations. What I'm looking for here is for you to create your slide deck in PowerPoint or Google Slides. I don't want you using Canva or Gamma or any other AI slide generator because they add content to it, and I want this to be your own work. Make sure that your speech and appearance are professional. Wear decent clothes, speak clearly, be aware of your background. I've had students create slide presentations, video presentations with a very disturbing background, a lot of activity going on. I actually had one student create a slide presentation from their hotel room with their girlfriend sleeping in the bed behind them, which is very inappropriate. So just be aware of what your background is. In here, I have my diplomas hanging on the wall and I have the background blurred. So do something like that, but make sure it's professional. Wear nice clothing, speak clearly, and then organize your presentation professionally so that it is well organized. You record your narration using an approved platform. You can record it within PowerPoint, which is the easiest way to do it, which is what I'm doing here. And I want you on camera when you're recording this. No avatars, no synthetic voices. I want to see you, right? You could also use Loom. You could put your video up on YouTube, put it on your Google Drive or your OneDrive. There's instructions on how to do all of these attached to the assignment. Uh, I want you to submit two items. I want the PowerPoint file, PPTX file, with, you don't have to put the video in it. It's not necessary. And then I want a shareable link to the video on YouTube or wherever. And then I want the MP4 uploaded into Blackboard. So I want two things. I want the PPTX, I want the slide deck, and I want the video. If you're doing a group presentation, the best way to handle that would be set up a Teams conference call with all of your group members, have one person share their screen and present the slides, and then each one of the team members takes a turn presenting some of the slides. And then meanwhile, you record the entire session, and then you could use that video from the recording to upload to the assignment with your PowerPoint slide deck. Assignment due dates are very important, and you need to have your assignment submitted on time. There's a 25% late penalty per day. So if your assignment is submitted 2 hours late, you lose 25%. If it's 2 days late, you'll lose 50%, 3 days, 75%, and then on the fourth day, you'll get a zero. So it's important that you submit the assignments on time. Now, we all have life events that happen that interfere with our getting our assignments done on time. So I'm willing to consider a due date extension for you if you run into a life event. But I need three things. One, you have to make your request for a due date extension before the assignment is late. Two, I need an explanation of why you're requesting it. Now, I don't need any personally identifiable information, PII, and I certainly don't need any personal health information, PHI. You could tell me I was hospitalized. I really don't need to know why you were hospitalized. I think I would be intruding on your privacy by asking that. So I don't need to know that. If you're sick, I had COVID, I had the flu, that's fine. Let me know and I'll work with you to get to help you out. And then the third thing I need is a hard, fast date that you're going to submit the assignment. Because one, I don't grant open-ended due date extensions, and two, I don't grant second and third due date extensions. So you got to tell me when you're going to submit it, and then you're going to be held to that. Now, vacations, birthdays, parties, sporting events, Super Bowl, Sunday, those are not valid reasons for due date extensions. Those are time management issues. I have to help my cousin move. That's great. Do your work beforehand. Submit it early. Don't request a due date extension because of time management issues. Don't even bother wasting time asking because the answer is going to be no, right? And be aware of the late assignment penalties. So there's a learning matrix for you. Um, In the syllabus are the actual, it's broken down by assignment and date. So it's much more detailed in the syllabus. But basically, you got your initial post, reply to the discussion question is due on Wednesday. Your follow-on commentary for your cohort replies are due on Friday by midnight. And I'm sorry, but discussion forums are very time sensitive. So late posts, anything past Friday won't be accepted. So because of the time sensitive nature of discussion forums, right? You can't add to the body of knowledge if everybody is no longer accessing the discussion. So it's very important that you get this done on time. Assignments are always due Sunday night, and exams and assessments are also due on Sunday night. Now, I always use a grading rubric to grade assignments. The only time that I won't use the grading rubric is if you're getting full credit, and I have no issues with any parts of the assignment. I'll give you full credit, and I won't fill out the grading rubric. Um, in the course is a points-based system of grading. You'll amass 3,000 points. That's the most you can get in a semester. Assessments are worth 600 points. Those are your quizzes, not your exams, just the weekly quizzes. Assignments are worth 1,200 points, they're 40% of your grade. And those are your assignments, your presentations, your assignments, your MindTap labs, MindTap exercises. Your discussions are worth 600 points. And those are your weekly discussions that I just talked about. And then there's two exams, again, the midterm exam and the final exam, and you'll have to install the Respondus lockdown browser to take these exams. Right? And then there's one 50-point extra credit opportunity at the end of the course. And what this opportunity is I would like you to fill out the course survey, the end of semester survey, right? Or end of course survey, EOCS. Right? Fill out the survey and then take a screenshot of the final screen that says thank you for submitting the survey, and then submit that screenshot to the survey, the extra credit assignment, and you'll pick up an extra 50 points. It could help you out. It could be the difference between a B and an A, or B plus and an A. So take advantage of that. And then lastly, on this last slide, here's the letter grade to percentage to points breakdown, right? Anything over 2,820 points is an A. Anything over 2,700 points would be an A minus or an A, and so on. So you get an idea of where you stand points wise, and you can see your total points in the grade book. So again, I'd like to welcome you to class. I'm looking forward to this semester. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them, email me, leave a message for me, Blackboard messages, and above all, don't stress. This should be fun. Learning is fun. Have fun, right? And let's work together to make sure that you're successful. Have a great semester.